Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of TCG Talk. Back today with another video, and then today I'm going to give you all my first gameplay video of Uprising and the Uprising set with Fi. This is against my buddy Matt, who's playing Dromai. Me and him have been playing a lot of games. He's maining Dromai for the most part. So at this point, from the time of this recording, I'd say it's this game like 10 that we've played. Maybe not 10, like 5 or 6 that we've played, maybe a little bit more with this particular matchup. Uh, it's been a really fun matchup. Initially, it was really kind of easier, but as time goes on, he's been able to tech against aggro a little bit better. But overall, the testing's been going good. The reason I haven't put up a lot of gameplay videos is the main reason is because our games go kind of slow because we talk, we're just friends, we're not really like I don't know how to explain it. We're not really like going quick. And then also with testing games, like we take our time, like, and we'll talk about play lines and cards and stuff like that. So it's a little hard to do the testing sometimes. The other reason is like for me when I play games, like I'm just relaxing, so I'm not trying to record and do stuff and everything else. So, but I'm going to give you all more gameplays, I promise. This one was a pretty simple one between me and my friend Matt on Dromai. Just kind of starting off with the Dromai matchup. I've been testing back and forth between Emberblade and between Kadachi's. I will say this recording was a couple days ago, like 5 or 6 games removed from since we've been playing, and I will say Kadachi's makes the matchup infinitely easier. This is not my Art of War build. I'm on a Art of War build the last couple days. I'll be sharing that with y'all in a video here in the next day or two. But this is like kind of like my volume 2 build, the one that I just put up where I'm kind of trying to play off of spreading flames and 3 power attacks on a big stubby hammer's turn and really combo off. So overall, my game plan with this is just to keep applying pressure. It's similar to when you play Aura Prism. You keep pressure. You don't really block much, and you clean up their dragons when you can while still applying mass pressure and damage pressure and stuff like that. Now, one thing I've learned in this matchup, I was respecting his Dromai a little bit too much. I know that sounds really bad, but I was respecting the fact that like when he plays Kyloria that threatens draw a card, things of that nature. Like overall, a lot of his cards cost 1 to play. And so like even if he draws a card at the end of the chain, it's not really gonna matter. He gets an arsenal, sure, but it's whatever. The other thing was I didn't respect him as much with I didn't like sub in breaking point. I kept rise up in just little things. So the matchup's gotten even easier since this gameplay, and I already did pretty well in this gameplay. So overall, uh, you know, went pretty well. So he started it off the turn, just attacked me and then put out a pass mirage, which is good for him. Already getting that, first dragon. It's basically his first dragon will lose Phantasm for the most part. And then for me, I drew into a pretty good hand. Spreading Flames and the Flame Call is good. I can go and get my second Phoenix Flame early, which having 2 Phoenix Flames engraved really does turn on this deck, in my opinion. The best way to get it is to get 2 Phoenix Flames engraved, and then hopefully you draw into a Flame Call like turn 3 or 4 again, and then you have a big pop off, 3 flame turn, 1 turn. You can either arsenal that 3rd flame or keep going. But yeah, so we spray and flame into Flame Call, go get that Phoenix Flame. And at this point, we're at 1 resource. So I'm shuffling my deck here. I'll skip through the shuffle parts. Like I said, we take our time with these two. Yeah, he blocked out, preventing mask. And again, you want to prevent mask as much as possible. Right here, Phoenix Flame gets the buff from Spreading Flames and goes and hits for 2. And the thing with Dromai when it comes to dragons, he only has 1 Ash created right now, so he can't make a dragon. But if that dragon costs 1, he's gonna have to pitch for it. So he needs to keep at least 2 cards in hand. So Dromai really, if she wants to have a really proactive game plan, he's not playing like the really control Dromai with a bunch of sinks and stuff like that. He's playing more of a kind of a proactive Dromai. So because of that, he has to keep cards in hand. A lot of the Dromais you're seeing lately don't have as proactive. They're more of like a control-esque. Yeah, for this Flame Call, I had 2 blues in hand, which really wasn't ideal. So I'm still trying to threaten Mask here. With the Phoenix Flame, I am threatening Mask. He has to block it, and he blocks the Flame Scale Furnace. So he's really trying to keep his hand here. He only blocked with 1 card from hand, which tells me he has something coming up pretty decent. Yeah. Dealing 11 damage there and forcing a Mask block twice pretty much. Not too bad for drawing into a 2 blue hand. And that's where Fi really can do things. It's weird. Katsu and Fi are different, right? In my opinion, Katsu's more flexible. Katsu can do more than Fi can with different types of hands, and he can kind of maneuver around his hands better because of combo, because of searching for the right card. But Fi has the ability to also be flexible. Like right there, I had 2 reds and 2 blues, right? 2 3-power reds and 2 blues. And I turned it into a 5 link turn with technically 4 attack actions because of Phoenix Flame. That's where it's different. Like, Katsu can go as wide as Fi, in my opinion, besides a pop off turn. But, overall, he has more attack actions, though. So it's kind of different. This is where the games kind of changed early on. I was blocking in our early testing games. I was block. Usually, if I had like a dead rupture card in hand, I would block with it. Since then, I just learned not to block. Like Phoenix Form, even if I can't get its full effect, like if I can just get one flame out and have it be a 3 go again, it's really useful. So I kind of like didn't. I wasn't respecting him as much as I could be, or I was respecting him too much to be honest. And here's where he puts out Kyloria. Yeah, early on in our testing, I think I was respecting him too much to be honest. And he ended up attacking a Kyloria, and I popped it with a race face. So hard matchup for him, honestly. Uh, and I just swung with Emberblade for 3. I think he ended up blocking it. But yeah, Kadachi is definitely the way to go with this deck. I run Kadachis in the main board now, to be completely honest. It can hurt you in a couple choice hands, to be honest, but overall, like your hands with Fi are just so much more flexible when you run Kadachis. Like it's actually ridiculous how much more flexible your hands are because most of the time, like you can swing with one Kadachi for 1 and still have enough resources. Like even if you get unlucky and let's say you have a blue with 2 draconic attacks and then a rupture card that you don't want to play on chain 3, you still can like a lava burst, right? You still can Kadachi attack, still have 1 resource floating for the 3rd Phoenix Flame and then play into a lava burst. So even without the Ember Blade being a draconic chain link, it's still really good. And with Brain with Cinderclaw, not most time, a good amount of times you can make Kadachi's still work and still be a draconic link. So I did have a Art War, 2 Art Wars in here. I think I ended up drawing into 2 Art Wars, which wasn't good. I think this is the game. We've played so many games, and this was like 5-6 games ago that I'm trying to remember exactly what happened here. So we'll have to see. I think I was thinking through this because it was a really crappy turn. All right, so we popped Stubby Hammers, popped Auto War, so our attacks basically are +2 at this point. So we end up playing Rising Resentment for, I think it's a blue. Is that a blue? I think it's a blue. I think it's for 5. So he ends up taking it. Him blocking out that first turn, or first card doesn't really do anything for him because it just doesn't help him out that much. And now he has to really figure out where he's going to block. Takes another 5. And now what he's going to do is he's going to see what I'm doing on mask. It's kind of interesting. He took 10 damage to the face, but he must have a really good hand. I've cleaned up his dragons really well, but now he's at the point where if I came in with another 5-power attack, he would just block it all out and block mask. But yeah, now I'm just coming in with Phoenix Flame for 3. Not ideal, but I think looking at what I should have done there is Embered for 3 and then came in with Brand for 5 and then Phoenix Flame for 3. Could have done that, been a little bit more resource efficient, but to each their own. Now I'm Embering for 3 after he's blocked it. Still though, I mean we're at a 16 damage turn right now off of R or Stubby, which isn't bad. Oh, tome. Oh, that's why, yeah. Wasn't ideal. I drew in a 2 tomes. That's what it was. Now I remember. That's why I didn't swing with Ember. Sorry about that, y'all. I need to get to that 4th Draconic Link. So yeah, what I could have done was, honestly, I could have Embered and then Phoenix Flamed, and I would have got a little bit better card advantage. But either way, I forced something off of him. I think I get one more attack in right here, which I mean is good. You want to make the most of it. So I did another Rising Resentment for another 5. So at this point, we're at 15, 18, 21 damage turn. Not too bad. And he ends up blocking out here. So yeah, got on the block with his whole hand. Forced a lot. I forgot what I should have done on that. I have to go back and look at that play line because I think I did that play line wrong, to be honest, but it's all good. Forced out his whole hand, and now we're on the path to really taking tempo now. So he started the Rise from the Ashes here. From Arsenal, I believe. Yeah, from Arsenal. I like Red Rise from the Ashes. I think it's a really good card. I mean, to me, I treat Red Rise from the Ashes as a 3-power attack action because that's literally what it is. I mean, you play it, you go get a Phoenix Flame. You can technically play your Phoenix Flame for 3, right? Go again. So at worst, or let me rephrase. At worst, the card is a 3-power attack action. At best, you can play it a Golfing for 8. You can play a Spreading for 6. Off a Stubby turn and Art War turn, you're playing Spreading for 8. Starting out, like it just can make your first attack really, really powerful. And the reason that's so important in Fi is because, in my opinion, damage wise, the most important attacks in Fi are your first attack and your last attack because people know how wide you can go with Fi, right? So they don't want to block your first attack that much, and they don't want to block your last attack because they're so busy trying to figure out when they're going to block Mask. So like right here, attacking with Rowan Renegade for 6, really forces an interesting interaction for him because now he's like, crap, this is Fi who can go 6 links, and I'm already having to give up 2 cards from hand on turn on link 1, right? Which is exactly what's happening. So now, he's already 2 cards down, and he doesn't have any clue how many more links I can go, right? So he ends up blocking that with Skullcap. So he's blocked for 7 here. I forced another equipment block from him. He's really trying to keep cards in hand. He only has 2 cards in hand, 1 card in arsenal. So it's not as good for him. This is a proxy. At the time of playing this, I didn't have all my Phoenix forms. So I played Phoenix form for what? 3-5 go again, technically. I had a turn last night. I wish I would have recorded it. I had a turn last night where it was like a 7-link turn, and I don't remember all the cards before it, but I basically ended on Phoenix form off a Stubby turn, Phoenix form for 6 go again, Phoenix form for 6 go again, and then I think it was Riot. No, it was Breaking Point. Yeah, Breaking Point for 5 on hit, destroy Arsenal. So like it was pretty nutty. It was like a 28 damage turn it ended up being, but so you can see what he just did. That's what puts Domina, not Domina. Gosh, that's what puts Dromai in a really weird spot because like he wanted to play a dragon there. He has to pitch to play Necria. So in order to play Necria, he has to keep that blue in hand. And if he just keeps blocking, then he keeps losing. You know what I mean? So overall, not very fun for him. It puts him in a weird spot because most good decks can do a decent amount with 2-card hands. Sometimes it's really hard if Dromai doesn't have a board state, her 2-card hand kind of sucks because she just puts out a dragon that's gonna get killed next turn anyway, right? So like it doesn't matter as much. So I ended up playing Uprising. I've since dropped Uprising. I love Uprising as a card. I still think it's one of the most underrated cards in 5, but it's gonna take a really specific type of deck to run it. And since I have dropped it, I've found a little bit more consistency with it. And this is a kind of hand where Kadachi's would have been really nice because you attack with Bran for 4 at or what you could have done is attack with Kadachi at Necria, and then also attack with an attack, and it will allow me to draw off Mask while only using 1 card from hand, really, besides the pitch. So it did make it a little bit harder. Use my blue Soul Bead Strike to attack with Necria and kill her. I guess we were freezing here for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, so far we attack with Bran for 4. We attack with Ember for 4. Soul Bead Strike for 2. Now Phoenix Flame for 2. And again, we're just applying pressure. And this is with Ember Blade. To be completely honest with you, this is with a build that's not as optimal for Dromai as the one I have now. So the fact that even with like a okay, 5 build, I was able to keep the pressure on and basically force his blocks. He only has 1 card in hand, 1 card in arsenal. And he just plays Dromai, making another dragon. But see, like with this, it sucks for him because that dragon's dead next turn. Basically, he's using his dragons as like mini defense reactions at this point because there's not much that he can do, to be honest. I'm pretty much able to go wide enough for the next 2 turns to kill him. So I start with a Mountain Anger for 4. One of the better cards, in my opinion, to start with, because if you can start a Mountain Anger 4 and then banish like a Rising Resentment or a Brand with Cinder Claw or Rowan Renegade, then they attack for 4 too. So you get basically 2 4-power attacks with Go Again for 1 resource, which is super nice. Like basically 1 for 8 Go Again, right? I mean, it's awesome to be able to do that. So he ends up pitching Blood of the Drakai because he just got stuck in his hand for to block with Phantasmal Footsteps, and then he blocks it out fully, not let me banish. Which Blood couldn't block anyway, so he has a really bad blocking hand, to be honest. I forgot what I had here. Okay, yep. Then we play Spraying Flames for 3. He blocks with Caloria. We spend 1 resource to Phi here. He's just blocking out at this point, but now I'm going to start pinging him. End up taking out his Dromai. But yeah, overall, pretty solid matchup. There wasn't much he could do. And then Spraying Flames comes in for 4. And Rising came in for 4 as well. So now we're off basically a double Spreading Flames buff. We were discussing here Spreading Flame sees itself like with the buff, and it does from our understanding. So because of that, it's basically coming in for 5 because of the previous Spreading 2. So it's, yeah, so you see me pointing it out. It's coming in for 5 effectively. I think he just concedes at that point. Or no, he doesn't. He doesn't concede yet. It lets me draw off Mask. And I pitch an Ember Blade for 3. He blocks for 2. So he had a really bad blocking hand that turn. Yeah, overall, not too bad. Again, that was with the Ember Blade, and I think that even showing like Ember Blade, which in my opinion is less optimal for Phi, at least in my testing. When I first started Phi, I thought that Ember Blade was the better option always, but I don't think it is. I think Kadachi's definitely are. It makes it more flexible because you can. what I've found in my testing with Blade is versus Kodachis is with Kodachis you still can 9 times out of 10 you still can play all your normal Draconic cards, right? For whatever. The time that Blade is better technically for one more point of damage or for better is like off a 3 card hand. So when you have a blue, a 0 cost going in card, and like a lava burst, right? If you have Blade, you can play Ronin. Let's just say it's Ronin Renegade. You can pitch to play Blade for 3. That's 6 damage. You pay your last one to go get your Phoenix Flame. That's 7 damage, and then you play Lava Burst for 5. That's 12 damage. The reason you can do that is because you have 2 Draconic Links when you're going to get your Phoenix Flame. If you have Kodachis, you basically only can use 1 Kodachi because you need 2 to go get your Phoenix Flame, right? So you play Ronin or you play a Kodachi for 1, you play Ronin for 3, that's 4 damage. You still have 2 resources floating. You pitch 2 to go get your Phoenix Flame. You play another Phoenix Flame, or you play Phoenix Flame, you're at 5 damage. And then even if you do that, like you can't really play out you can play out Lava Burst because it's still 4 links, but it's not as much damage. You're only dealing 9 damage at that point instead of 12, whatever it is. So that's where having Kodachis does hurt a little bit because sometimes you need that extra link helps you in certain ways, and it attacks for 3. But most of the time, I would say Kodachis make your 2 and 3 card hands a little bit worse with 5, which sounds kind of weird because you technically can go wider, but your 4 and 5 card hands are way more flexible than they are with Blade. They just are. Like, it helps a lot. So overall, good game. The matchup has definitely gotten better for me as time's gone on. He's gotten better with it. It was kind of weird. Like, I was dominating the Dromai matchup early, and then he caught up and started beating me a little bit, and then I made some adjustments. Now I'm doing better. It really depends. But yeah, overall, really solid game. Really happy with where the deck's at. Doing pretty well with it. I'll be coming out with the deck tech soon on my Art of War build that I'm kind of testing right now, and kind of give y'all another way of looking at Fi. I'm not running Belittle in any of my builds, and I've had no issues, so overall doing pretty good. But yeah, if y'all enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe on the video. Also join the Discord down below if you're still here. We'd love to have you. Over 160 members right now, doing really well, so please come and join us. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.